Performance Management Process, Cora-Leigh, Liberty University, PSYC 651. The performance management process begins with performance planning, performance execution, performance assessment, performance review, and ends with performance renewal and recontracting. Prerequisites to the performance management process are knowledge of organizational mission and goals and knowledge of specific job requirements. One of the most important prerequisites to being able to create and implement a performance management system is to be knowledgeable about the job. Without job analysis, one does not understand the specific duties and tasks that the job requires, which makes it impossible to evaluate performance. Once job tasks are identified, it is important to measure how frequently the employee needs to perform the task and how critical the task is in relation to others. In addition to understanding the tasks and their significance, it is important to evaluate the knowledge, skills, and ability required to perform in that job well. Job analysis can be performed a variety of ways, through observing the job being performed, through a questionnaire, or through interviews. At the beginning of each performance management cycle, the supervisor and the employee must plan to meet their objectives for the following cycle. If this is not the first cycle of performance management, this planning session may begin with an overview of how the employee performed during the last cycle, with some discussion on the goals the employee achieved, and if applicable, the ones they did not achieve. After this, the employee and the supervisor will discuss and agree upon the results or outcomes that the employee is expected to produce over the next cycle. In addition to the results, this planning session should also discuss the behaviors expected of the employee. Behaviors are generally addressed as a discussion of competencies required for the position, which may not directly lead to quantifiable results, such as written communication skills, product knowledge, or customer service. Lastly, this planning portion will conclude with a development plan that will identify areas of improvement and set goals for the upcoming cycle. Performance execution involves both the employee and the supervisor, as they both have tasks within the performance execution stage. Employees must be committed to achieving their goals and be highly communicative with their supervisor. Part of being communicative with their supervisor entails being willing and open to performance feedback and coaching and sharing performance data with them. Additionally, employees should regularly assess their own performance as a part of the self-appraisal to remain committed to the goals they have agreed upon in the planning stage. Concurrently, the supervisor must observe and document the performance of the employee. The supervisor should come to the employee with any organizational updates, feedback on their performance, and any tools or resources that may assist the employee in completion of the previously set goals. Contrary to popular belief, performance assessment is not completed solely by the supervisor. Both the supervisor and the employee are responsible for evaluating performance and results from the performance execution phase. Additionally, peers, subordinates, and mentors may be called in to assist the performance assessment process to provide a comprehensive view of performance. Again, self-appraisals are a very important task in this phase, as self-appraisals can increase employee satisfaction with performance management. While it is likely that there will be discrepancies between the supervisor's appraisal and the employee's self-appraisal, these are not always bad. Sometimes the employee will grade themselves harder than their supervisor will, and this is a great opportunity to receive reinforcement from the supervisor. Performance review, which is often referred to as the appraisal meeting or discussion, is the review of the performance an employee has exhibited over the past performance management cycle. Sometimes, supervisors may feel some trepidation or anxiety in delivering the discussion, especially if the employee is underperforming. The best way to reduce any discomfort about this process is to involve the employee. Having an open discussion on what went well and what didn't, where the supervisor is listening for reasonings and possible explanations, will go a long way towards having a successful performance review. Performance renewal and recontracting is essentially identical to the performance planning component. The main difference is that this stage includes insights and information gauged from other stages. After this stage, the process begins all over again. After reading the assigned readings for this week, I have the following questions for my group. 1. Think about a performance appraisal that you have had in the past. In your discussion of your job duties, have you ever noticed that your job duties expand upon your posted job description? If you've remarked on this, what is your manager's response? How important is it for your job analysis to be conducted regularly? In your industry, how often do you think job analysis should be conducted? Why? 2. Think about what it means to be a manager in the performance management process. What guidance does the Bible give on providing performance feedback to others?